Hello everyone, how are you doing? Right, this is only going to be a quick one because I've had a busy day and I didn't have time to really look through much stuff. But this story, I'm going to cover it when I've got a chance. I'm going to do it for the BBC Spews, obviously. And I'll pre-record something for it. But this had to be addressed quickly while I still had a rage boner because it annoyed me enough to start a petition for it. Because I think they've opened up not just a can of worms, but a barrel of fucking snakes with machine guns, right? A barrel of giant anacondas with chain guns. This is what they've opened with this High Court ruling. Anyway, sorry, let's do the obligatory welcome. It's a force of habit. James, hey, how are you doing? There's one of my opos from back home. Everybody else? Charles, he's always in. Jeff, Andrew, Craig, Rab, how are you doing? Zardos, Winston, Sean Rye, Tommy Walker, Kevin. Dangling Dave, haven't seen you for a bit. Andy B, Rosebud, etc. Who've I missed? Anyone good? No more locals, I think. Bitchy Brit. How's life? This is England. Stephen Orr, Andy Cooper. Hello, everybody. Right, that's the preamble done. Let's talk about this mind-numbing lot of shit and the aforementioned petition, right? Oakhampton Camp. Oh my God, don't even start me on Oakhampton Camp, right? So the short version is this, ladies and gentlemen. It's not loud enough. Hang on. Fuck's sake. There you go. Cling, blew your eardrums out. Right, there you go. So, this is unreal, this. Because we don't have professionals anymore, the lawyers don't lawyer, the judges don't judge, we've got activists that function as activists. That's number one on their agenda. And second on their agenda, very far down the list, is being whatever profession they have trained for. That's why we get woke maths, woke fucking science, right? Denying reality, yeah. You're definitely a biological female if you used to have a throbbing 10-inch clitoris. And you're definitely, and you're not allowed to question it, you're definitely a bird, you're definitely a bloke if you've got a canny set of threepenny bits and a set of fucking piss flaps to boot, right? And you're not allowed to question it, and biological essentialism, it doesn't exist, right? You have to accept it, and you're not allowed to criticise it, and if you do, you're a Nazi and a fascist, even if you're a militant feminist like Jermaine Greer and you've been doing it for 40 years and everybody knows what you think and everybody knows that you're a good person and you've never been in trouble with the law and you've never assaulted or hurt anybody and everyone knows what you're all about because you're a fucking old woman, but you're a fascist Nazi and there's no such thing as science, right? So we know where we're at. So we know why the High Court ruled the way that it did. But let me tell you why it opens up, not a can of worms, a barrel full of fucking anacondas with chain guns, right? Hello, Shams, how you doing? Two-Tone, welcome. Storm Toss Sailor, the only Matt Law I have any time for. Let me tell you why, right? So the Home Office decision to house them in barracks is squalid. The High Court has ruled. It's also unsafe, right? Because the dormitory use, apparently it's unsafe. It's not safe to stay in a dormitory, right? The ruling could see a damages claim, right? Remember that one, because that's essential for my petition. The ruling could see a damages claim against Home Secretary Priti Patel, right? This is the barrel of snakes I wish to unleash upon the fucking world, right? I've seen the photographs of the barracks. The barracks wasn't modified. It was just a barracks. An old barracks, probably newer than many of them I stayed at. Many of them. Lydenide was absolutely shocking. Strensel was fucking older than me granddad. If that fucking thing wasn't in use during the fucking Boer War or something fucking ancient, yeah, I think we were using Strensel when the Battle of Trafalgar went off, right? And I stayed in them. And you stayed in them. And generations of British soldiers stayed in them because they've been there for decades. For decades, right? Nothing was changed. They didn't retroactively go in and make them worse, did they? They didn't go into the barracks in Folkestone and go, fucking hell, this is nowhere near grim enough. Let's spend a few million quid making it a bit more grim. Let's get the builders in. You, brick that window up. You, snap one off and stitch it into the curtains. That didn't happen, right? We know this didn't happen. Let's only deal with facts, right? It was an existing barracks and they didn't alter it from how it was when soldiers were living in it. Yeah? Here's the bottom line. Mr. Justice Linden also criticised the detention-like setting for the men. This is just fucking mind-blowing. It says, they were supposed to live voluntarily, pending a determination of application for asylum. Voluntarily, like I did, as a free-born Englishman who decided to join the armed forces. No criminal record, no convictions, didn't do anything wrong, paid my taxes as a teenager, and then joined the Corps. When this is considered a decision that accommodation in a detention-like setting, a site enclosed by a perimeter fence, topped with barbed wire, access to which is through padlocked gates, guarded by uniformed security personnel, will be adequate for their needs, begins to look questionable, right? That is every fucking camp I ever lived on. Norton Manor Camp, 40 Commando, exactly that. 42 Commando, Bickley Barracks, exactly that. CTCRM, Limston, exactly that. Chivner, Barnstable, Commando Logistics Regiment, exactly that. Catterick Garrison, when I was 16 and I joined the TA and did my 2-week combat infantryman's course, exactly that. Exactly that. Detention-like setting, big fucking barbed wire fence, padlocked gates, uniformed security personnel. Apparently, that's questionable. For free people. Voluntarily, living voluntarily. What the fuck are you when you're in the military? You're not a conscript. Is it? Fucking Anders Breivik has got more bastard space in his cell than I had when I was training in the military. Fucking Anders has got his own treadmill. If only I'd gone completely batshit and butchered a load of teenagers for no reason, maybe I could have my own fucking treadmill. So anyway, I'm not going to go on. I'll cover it on the BBC Spews. Short version is this. I made a petition. I can't show you the text for it yet, so I'm having to show you my email inbox. Right? Until 5 of you fuckers sign that petition in the link below, the petition won't go live. So 5 of you need to click the link that's down there and sign it. You need to be British. Fuck knows why. If we can let random bloke from Mombasa in the back of a fucking tomato wagon have a 5-star room in the fucking Hilton, I don't understand why you have to be British to sign it. Weird. Weird how it's open season on everything else, but not if you're signing a petition that a working class shitbag has wrote, right? I bet you if Boris or fucking Owen Jones writes a petition, well, we'll let anyone sign that. But if you're working class scum like me, the rules are different. So please, ladies and gentlemen, click on the link down there, sign the fucking petition. Here's the wording. Investigate the Military of Defence for housing soldiers in unsafe barracks. I'm not after compensation because I'm a proud man and I've earned every penny I've ever spent. But we're making a point, right? In the recent Napier Barracks ruling at the High Court, Justice Linden stated that a military barracks was adequate for the health of the claimants. That was, therefore, oh my God, look at that, I made a typo, inadequate for the health of the claimants. Therefore, the MOD must be held accountable for violating the human rights of every serving and former British soldier. In the bottom bit, that was the preamble. I will edit and put an IN in there. To ensure fairness and equity, all former and serving British soldiers must be given the same level of care, compassion and monetary compensation that asylum seekers forced to endure barrack life are entitled to. Because that's what they said, right? Forced to endure it. I lived on crowded barracks for almost 10 years of my life, and according to the High Court, their words, not mine, my rights were violated. I was abused, my health was at risk, and I and my former colleagues deserve an apology and monetary compensation for pain and suffering. Right? Sounds fair, doesn't it? They were supposed to live voluntarily. Like when you join the military. Living voluntarily. Treated like animals. Like rats in a cage. Now, no left-wing human rights lawyer would represent us for free. If that petition kicks off, fuck it, I might crowdfund a court case. But we'll have to pay for it ourselves, because we all pay taxes. We're all here legally. We've been born and raised here. So we have to pay for our own legal case. You know how it works. But if you, chopped your fucking wife's head off in Lithuania and then moved here and did it, well, you get legal aid. And you know how it works, lads. It's fine. It works as intended. But that was Arnis Zalkan's. Sorry, he didn't get legal aid because he was good enough to swing himself off a fucking tree shortly after he did it. But that's not a laughing matter because a young girl died and she fucking shouldn't have. But that's here nor there. This is about the petition. So, there we go. I think every single one of us that has ever served in the military was abused. Our human rights were violated. We served up as free people. And we're now victims of an appalling human rights abuse. And if every single asylum seeker that is now currently living on a barracks is entitled to monetary compensation and a house in the fucking Quantox, yeah, then I want one. I fucking want one. And I didn't just endure living in a barracks for 5 fucking minutes. I lived on one for 10 bastard years. And I'll quickly talk about that. When I was in training, first few weeks of training, I was in a 60-man fucking barrack building. Just like the one in Full Metal Jacket. 60 men. With one shower. It was like fucking... that is literally what... I don't want to be crass and use concentration camp analogies. But that's what it was. It was a 60-man grot. More. I'm sure there was about 67 lads joined. You get to the end of training, there's about fucking 15 left. But about 60-odd lads in there. And nobody whinged. 60 blokes in a room. I've seen photographs of these fucking bed spaces they had, right? And they are identical to the one that I had in training. Identical. Even when I was out of training, so that's the bit where you're supposed to live shit, there was a commando reorg, right? And we had an extra company added to our commando units. When I was at 4-2 Commando, a 4-man flat became a 6-man flat. Became an 8-man flat. And when I was at 4-2 Commando, Bickley Barracks, no word of a lie, we had an 8-man flat. We had 4 men living in the living space at the end. We had 2 corporals in the 2 small cabins. And we had a TV room, which was converted into a 2-man bedroom. So we had 8 blokes in a flat smaller than mine now, sharing a tiny kitchen, 2 toilets, 1 shower and 1 bathtub. 8 blokes. 1 shower, 1 bathtub, 8 blokes. And that was a 4-2 Commando. When I went to 40 Commando, they still had the TV rooms, but we had 6 blokes in there. So we've got a fucking cast iron case, lads. If we can get this off the ground, maybe we will end up crowdfunding a court action, but we've got a cast iron case. Cast iron. The High Court has said you cannot house free people in a fucking barracks. And we've all lived on them. I've lived in 8-man rooms, 6-man rooms, 60-man rooms, the fucking lot. They all had gates, they all had guards, they all had barbed wire. We've been raped. We've been raped. Oh my God, the commanding officer may as well have bent me over his fucking desk and rogered me senseless with a prize-winning leak. We're all victims. Oh my God, I've got an arsehole like the top end of a Wellington boot. However will I recover? Fucking hell, we're all victims. So, sign the petition, share the petition, like the fucking video, and we'll see where we get with it. But I want a paycheck. I want a paycheck. And then we can use the paycheck, if we get one, we can use it to hire private security to do the fucking job that the government should be doing, right? We can buy a boat and man it with a Jolly Roger and a cutlass and an eye patch, and I'll sail around the channel going, "Arr!" trying to dissuade fucking scary fighting age men in canoes from landing in Folkestone. So there you fucking go. Anyway, that's me done. I'm going to play games. I've had a long day. I just want to bring your attention to that story, and I'll cover it on the BBC Spews on Sunday. All right? As always, I do appreciate everybody sticking your heads in, but I can't stick around tonight. I'm a busy bootneck bastard. Right, so share it, like it, share the petition, sign the fucking thing. Let's see what happens. Very unlikely it's going to go off the ground with paltry 8,000 subs and a minuscule channel. But I'd fucking love to get some, to make a point that what's good enough for the goose is good enough for the gander. If we're going to put working class British men from fucking 50 generations of taxpayers through it, it's good enough for people that fucking just rock up and say, "Oh yeah, I'm from a war-torn..." Fucking hell, if you're from the Democratic Republic of Congo, surely you can stay in my bastard bed space that I lived in for fucking years, right? Or am I just being a lunatic? Anyway, I'm practicing my pirate speak. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in on Sunday. All right? Good night.